Steps to avoid or not to become the toxic or the bad boss. Number one is to make the work reasonable. What do we mean to make the work reasonable? Of course, our staff or the new employee, there are expectations and there are metrics that has to be met. What I would recommend for you is to ensure that from the time you hire them, that you are clear with the deliverables for that job and that role. Actually, even from the time you interview them, to ensure that they're comfortable with those kind of deliverables, timelines, and the volume of work. At the same time, when we say make the work reasonable, like, are we talking about what is to be delivered? Number one. Secondly, are we talking about timelines? Are we talking about working remotely or they have to be physically in the office? What are the flexibilities when it comes to the work environment? Those are important. What do you mean reasonable? Are you requiring them to work overtime? Are they required to work on weekends? Are those demands urgent that will impact the business productivity or the business itself when it comes to revenues? If there are, then I believe they should be met. But sometimes you just want them to be met for the heck of meeting them, but it doesn't impact the business, so it wouldn't make sense. So you have to make reasonable arrangement with your staff from the very beginning of employment. The second one is to give your direct reports or staff an opportunity for growth. Opportunity for growth is not only promotion, definitely it's part of it, but there are different opportunities for growth. For example, for the heck of learning, for promotion because it's part of reward that they did a great job, financial growth, whatever it is. I think from the very beginning as a manager is that you look into the reason why they are there. Is it the financial growth? Or sometimes maybe the salary is low, but then they want it because they want to grow in their career as part of their experience. Or they want to learn new things because the salary may be low, the workload may be too much, but they know that they are learning from the best managers. So whatever those reasons are, that has to be evident from the time you hire them. Ask them. If they're not sure, then observe what are the reasons why they really got the job. And then offer those opportunities for growth. As human beings, regardless of what status we are in life and in whatever stage we are in our career, we always want growth. And if we find ourselves in an organization or situation where we are no longer growing, that's the time we start feeling unwanted, unneeded, and we lose the focus and we lose the passion for the work. And we don't want that emotion to be what our team feels. So we want them to always be engaged and to always be on top of the game. So make those opportunities for growth available for them. Third one is recognition. I think this is one of those things that mostly missing in organizations. So as a manager, be sure you appreciate your team. Be sure to acknowledge and recognize them. As a person, for me, I don't need a big round of applause across the organization. Well, that wouldn't hurt. But for me, by mere acknowledging that the success of a specific project and has been achieved because I contributed or my contribution is significant to that, it's already more than enough for me. So what I would say is that while we're focusing on the big ticket items like revenues, Let's look at how our team members contributed to those successes and ensure that we know how they want to be acknowledged or how they want to be appreciated. Some of them, the appreciation would be financial. Some of them would just be, receiving an email saying that you did a great job. Some of them would want to have a certificate or want it to be announced within the organization. Whatever is the type of acknowledgement or appreciation that your team member need, that is what we provide. We don't assume, we don't put it out, we don't just ignore. When there are achievements, there are people who contributed to that achievement, then we need to recognize those achievements. So appreciate our team, appreciate our own effort, and even our bosses. Third one is engaging positively or constructively. While those are our direct reports, they are human beings. We are all human beings. So it is just but right to engage to one another with respect, and it is important for us to consider emotions, okay? While we do understand that at work, it's the output that matters and productivity matters, but at the same time, we are dealing with human beings. So any shortcomings, it is not something that is not an opportunity for growth, okay? So of course, we make mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes yourselves as bosses. So consider how feedback, or how you would say those criticisms or those feedback in a way that is very constructive. Meaning you are not attacking the person. You are giving a way or a feedback on how a specific action can be improved and can be developed. Okay, it's not the person, it's the action. It's important that our staff or our employees that sees that we are not attacking them as human beings. We are giving them opportunity to grow by giving them feedback, and I hope they see that way, and they will only see it in that way if you're communicating properly. Last one for me is for you to create healthy work environment or healthy culture. In any organization, there is like a culture of the company, and there's also a team culture. The team of the company is that something that you need to follow as bosses, that you need to work around or you need to adapt. But at the same time, there's a team culture that will allow you as a manager to design in such a way that that culture is a way of work wherein you should have already discussed or you have already planned and envisioned even before onboarding any of your team or when you're joining a team. So when you do that, you already tell your team how to work with you the best way. And at the same time, you should also ask them what is the best way to work with them. Okay, I would remember my boss when I was asked when he onboarded me. He told me, "Okay, we can talk about anything, but my only request is never cry in front of me." I was very young at the time, and only to find out that it's not negative. Believe me, because he has a very soft spot for women who are crying, so he gives in when he sees to any demand of a woman if they're already crying in front of him. So he's very weak when it comes to that. So he didn't want to be in a position to just say yes to you or to me just because I'm crying. So I think that's a good example wherein you could already try to state what are the things, the best way to connect with you. Is it in the morning? And not to connect with you when it's month end or when it's towards the end of the day, when you don't have the capacity to absorb anything because it's already a very long day, or maybe when the discussion is about decision making and you have to make those decisions or hard decisions, then connect with you first thing in the morning and not towards the end of the day to be able to make the best decision. But what is important is that you give those guidelines and you establish the culture And that culture should be positive, not a negative culture. Say that if I am, for example, in a position where I'm very upset, I would recommend for you not to come to me because I will not be very pleasant. Or say that if the topic is about this specific, I would recommend for you to discuss this. Give them the idea of what is okay to be discussed in public, what is okay to be discussed in private. That will give them the liberty to make those decisions, and they don't have to feel like, nako, is it the right timing? They know it's the right time. Or should I tell this? They know they should, or they know they shouldn't. Give them open door policy, meaning they could call you, they could talk to you at any time. Those are the simple but very good start for you to create a healthy culture. And I'm hoping that those things are helpful.